It was around 6:30 in the evening. The sky was a dark, stormy gray, and heavy raindrops poured from the heavens like a curse. Zara and Nia, two best friends, were just stepping out of a bustling city mall, drenched in laughter, shopping bags in hand, and totally unprepared for the downpour that awaited them. Umbrellas weren't of much use in that wild, sideways rain. Their dresses clung to their skin, shopping bags sagged with moisture, and taxis were nowhere in sight, until a battered black and yellow cab came crawling out of the fog like a ghost from the past. They waved it down in desperation. The cab slowed, and the driver rolled down the window just enough for his face to be barely visible. A withered, pale man with hollow eyes and a long black raincoat, he gruffly quoted an absurdly high fare, $150 for a barely 20-minute ride. "That's insane," Nia snapped. Zara agreed. "Just use the meter." The driver stared at them in silence for a moment, his eyes gleaming in the rain, then grunted, Okay. You give me $100, no meter." Desperate, cold, and soaked, the girls nodded. They threw their bags in and jumped in the back seat. As the car moved, the streets blurred in the curtain of rain. Only a mile had passed when the driver mumbled, "Actually, you'll pay me $150. "What? You said $100, Zara shouted. "No meter, my rule, bad weather, high fare," he said coldly, never turning his head. "We want to get down now," Nia barked. "You lied." But the cab didn't stop. The locks clicked, and the windows seemed to fog faster than they should. Zara tried pulling the handle. Nothing. The driver kept driving as if he hadn't heard them, face stiff, eyes fixed forward. "You're not keeping us hostage," Nia shouted. $150, or else, the driver whispered. A tense silence fell. As their house approached, the car finally stopped. Without another word, they jumped out, slammed the doors, and handed over $100, the amount agreed. The driver didn't take the money. He simply stared at them with a deadpan expression and whispered, $50, still pending. They ignored him. But as they turned to go, he asked in a dry, hollow voice, "Water bottle?" Despite her frustration, Zara hesitated, then reached into her bag and handed him a bottle. The driver took it, his hand cold and damp, and said nothing. They went inside, hearts pounding. Hours passed. The rain subsided, and around 9:30 p.m., Nia walked out onto the balcony with a cup of coffee. She froze. The cab was still there, exactly where it had dropped them. The driver, still in the seat, still motionless. "Nia!" she screamed. "Come here, look at this!" Zara rushed out. "Is he still sitting there?" 3 hours, not even a twitch. They whispered about how insane he was. They thought of calling someone, but decided to ignore it off. Around 11 p.m., they stepped out for a walk. The cab was still there. They decided to confront him. As they approached, the front seat was empty. The car doors were open. No driver. Just the lingering smell of something rotting. They screamed, called the police. Within minutes, a patrol car arrived. The police inspected the vehicle. It was strange. The driver's license was missing. No ID. The number plate was half rusted. And when they checked the engine, it was cold. It had been off for hours. "We'll tow it. We'll investigate," the officer said. Back inside their apartment, they tried to calm down. Everything felt off. The air was thick. The clock ticked too loudly. Even the shadows seemed to breathe. Then, ping, a message from an unknown number. "Give me my $50. Zara's phone fell from her hand. Nia's eyes widened. They dialed the number instantly. Unavailable. They gave the number to the police, but the number had no registration, no digital footprint. "Maybe it's a prank," the officer said. "Block it." They did, but the night wasn't over. 2:15 a.m., the lights started flickering. 2:30 a.m. A thudding sound came from the main door, like something banging, slowly, deliberately. They opened it. No one. But on the doormat, the water bottle Zara had given the driver, now crumpled and half burnt. They screamed. They locked every window, every door. 3 a.m. The TV turned on by itself, static, and then a face appeared for a split second, pale with hollow eyes and lips that moved as if whispering one word. 50. 3:15 a.m. All clocks stopped, even the wall ones, phones too. Everything froze. 3:30 a.m. Nia walked to the kitchen to get water. As she opened the fridge, the driver's face was staring at her from the glass door reflection. She shrieked. Zara came running. Nothing was there. They were losing their minds. 4 a.m. There was a knock. 3 slow, heavy knocks. They looked through the peephole. No one. But when they opened the door, the driver was standing inside the elevator, door wide open. Still. Silent. Only his mouth moved. I asked nicely. Suddenly the elevator doors slammed shut. The power went out. A final message came to both phones at the same time. Now I'll take what you never wanted to give. The phones cracked in their hands, screens going black. The next morning, police arrived to follow up. They found the apartment empty. No signs of struggle. Just silence. Except, on the wall, written in water, as if smeared with wet fingers, paid in full. And in the parking lot, the cab had returned. But now, 2 shopping bags sat in the back seat. No driver, no passengers, just an eerie silence. Moral? Some rides you should never take, and some fares are paid not in dollars, but in souls.